Picking it out. How did the damn Yankees thing? I really want to know about that.
Yeah, man, that I've said forever. I was in the damn Yankees for about 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and that's about what it felt like. So, Brother Kane ends. I told you I kept writing,
Hmm.
and I had a batch of songs that I was thinking about making a solo record with. And these songs were they leaned more towards the melodic. It wasn't heavy at all. Um, just kind of pop songs with guitar, not blues rock at all, man. Very, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe Matchbox 20 is even a decent comparison.
Kind of alternative rock or just,
A little alternative, good melodies, simple songs, simple
yeah,
chords,
right.
nothing, no flashy guitar stuff whatsoever. It was all songs you could sing in the shower,
Sure.
literally. So I had a cassette, I had a CD of these songs, and there's this kind of famous A&R guy, John Kalodner, who was the brains behind so many great records in the late 80s and throughout the 90s. Pivotal figure in Aerosmith's rebirth,
Yeah.
all that big success they had during the MTV days of the 90s. Anyway, John asked to hear my songs, and I sent him this CD. And he called me one day and he said, Jack Blades is here. He loves these songs. He wants to talk to you about writing for a new Damn Yankees record.
Oh,
And I said, yeah, man, that would be cool. So I went to Jack's house in Northern California. And it just so turns out that Ted Nugent was there. John Kalodner, the A&R guy, was there. And Michael Cardelloni, the drummer, was there. And we all plugged in and played together. And that was when they explained to me that they were going to make a new Damn Yankees record, but that Tommy Shaw wasn't able to commit to it full time because he had just acquired the rights to the name Styx.
mm,
They had parted ways with Dennis DeYoung, their original lead singer, one of the lead singers. So now it was Tommy and J.Y. Young, and then whoever else was in the band at that time. So they had to focus on that. Tommy gave them his blessing to bring in somebody else. And full disclosure, Andrew, I had nothing going on. I mean, I had nothing going on. So to get a call from Kalodner like that, I wasn't necessarily a fan of Damn Yankees, but I was a fan of all of those guys
yeah.
individually in their other bands. And I knew Ted because Brother Kane had played with Ted. Ted was always a loudly outspoken supporter of Brother Kane. So that's how it happened. And we dug in and worked really hard for about a month. We wrote half a dozen additional songs to the ones I already had, and moved forward on making a record. Brought in a producer, started laying down all these tracks. It was a little bit piecemeal, because Ted had some solo dates, and Michael Cardelloni had just gotten the gig playing drums in Leonard Skinner about 2 years prior. So Skinner was busy. So, there was a few things we had to juggle. So we finished the record. It was 11 songs. And, everybody went back home and just kind of waited to get the mixes. And I'll never forget it, man. I got a package in the mail one day, UPS or a FedEx,
Yeah.
and it had the CD with the final mixes, and I put it on, and I just thought it was very okay. Nothing was making me go, hell yeah.
Hmm.
I sang lead on a couple songs, a lot of harmony vocals with Jack. Tommy Shaw came in and helped finish the record because he had songs that had already been written for it. So that's where it got a little confusing for people. It's like, well, what's going on? And
Yeah.
man, I was just trying to do my job. I didn't get super spiritually connected to it. I just worked hard, did the best I could. They had some bumps in the road with the producer. They weren't sure about the guy that mixed it. Again, it wasn't my band.
Yeah.
I was essentially a side man that they're bringing in. So over the next couple of days, I find out that Ted and Jack and Tommy all reacted to the music the same way I did. Everybody was kind of like, it's okay. Yeah. And I mean, let's be real. Had there been a song on there, an undeniable song, like what was their big hit, the ballad, High Enough? Can You Take Me Higher? There wasn't a song like that on there. There wasn't a hit, like a Matchbox 20 hit or like whatever a hit was at that point. That was the other thing, man. Like, where did a classic rock band like Damn Yankees fit on the radio in 2000, 2001? Who's going to play that?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of stuff kind of working against it, man. And then everybody got busy.
Mm-hmm.
Jack had Night Ranger dates. Ted had solo dates. Michael had Skinner dates. And we all just says, well, we'll circle back to this later. And we never circled back. So now it's almost become a little bit of an urban legend in classic rock world. One of the songs that Jack and I wrote, he put on a solo record. I wrote a song with Ted that he put on a solo record. And I think Tommy and Jack did a duo album together, and I think one or two of the songs were on that. So, yeah, man, it's a cool story. And I love all those guys, and I run into all of them from time to time. And, we have a laugh and keep on trucking. But I don't know, man. I don't usually add Damn Yankees to my list of accomplishments because we didn't really do that much. I was in Alice Cooper for 5 years. I was in Thin Lizzy for 5 years. That's a real slice of my life, and there's tons of concerts that we played. We never played a show together in Damn Yankees.
Yeah, it was just kind of one of those things.
Yeah, it's just something we kind of poked it a little bit. Let's poke this and see what happens.